We begin
Eh,
the podcast.
eh,
Uh, ah.
eh.
My guys, it has been too long.
It's been a long
It
time.
has been way too long. How has the past, has it been a
2 weeks,
month?
3 weeks, 2 years,
Three weeks?
In like
Oh,
5 years.
It's been 5 years.
5 years?
It's been six
Oh,
years.
we are
I
traveling.
mean, for me at least, I was in the hyperbolic time chamber. I don't know about you guys.
I
I
see.
mean,
I
it's
see.
been about like a century for me.
A century.
Whoa, which chamber?
Uh, I'm not supposed to talk about
Oh, no.
it.
I know where. I know.
It's in early alpha.
Early
I
alpha.
honestly have already violated my NDA.
Oh, the NDA is gone. The NDA is gone.
Alexa, turn on all the lights. Why do you do this to me at frickin'
Do you
6:15?
have like automation set up? We have like all of our automation set up for a bunch of our lights. So every now and then we'll
Yeah.
just be in the house and all of a sudden all of our lights will
Just
either turn off, start dimming
or
to
turn
make us
on.
feel like we're going crazy.
Yeah. Alexa, turn on the lights. All the lights.
All of them. All of them. Get all the lights going.
Alexa, turn on all the lights.
There we go.
Got it.
There we go. Well, I was hopefully everybody enjoys it, but I was telling our dear Bordemin before the stream started that I fixed my camera, if anybody can tell.
You did?
I mean, do you notice
It's
a difference?
pointing the right way.
Well, no, so
It's
funnily enough, I didn't know this. I figured this out through the most roundabout way, but the firmware on my camera was 5 years out of date. So
5 years.
5 years. Now it's up to date, and look at the beauty that has occurred. It is amazing. It is amazing.
Yes.
I-
Now we can all tell that Eric has a face for print. Or wait, no, voice for print, face for radio, right? That's the
Voice
Face for
for print.
radio, bro. It's voice. It's face for radio, my guy.
Oh yeah, I got it
You're
backwards.
killing me. You're killing me.
I love that one.
Oh, you gotta stop being so meat now.
You haven't heard that before?
I've heard it. It's just I usually hear it from people who are like, "Oh yeah, you got a face for radio, my guy."
Face for radio.
Voice for
Yeah,
print.
especially today, because I had a judo tournament this past weekend, and of course, every time I have a judo tournament, I get some like weird
Thumb
scratch
face?
or something.
You get thumb
Yeah.
face. We're gonna call it thumb
Yeah.
face because somebody's going.
Yep. Well,
What did I do for?
yeah.
God, 3 weeks ago I started wearing glasses. It's actually the reason why I don't feel
Oh,
well
no.
today. But so I found out that I had terrible eyesight.
Now, was this like? I know you found this out, but had you started to
Yeah.
notice this? Like, was this? Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Was it?
For sure. That's the reason why I even
see.
scheduled it.
So it was like a noticeable like decline in vision.
Mhm.
And was it like quick, or was this just an overtime thing?
From what I've been told from the optometrist, I had bad eyesight since I was like a kid, but I had adapted to it to some degree to the point where I could get by. But as academic activities increased as I got older, it became harder and harder system that I had developed for just like general lifestyle to adapt to the skill set that I was bridging. So now that I spend a lot of time in front of a screen, that screen time reveals the level of actual eye focus that I have in general. And the more that my eyes tried to like dial into it and focus, the more strained it became. So the boy is a -3, which is not great, but it does mean I get to now, which is great. But the sun's out for the first time. I wore these glasses. It's killing me. Like I don't know what happened, but anytime I close my eyes, I'm good. when I open my eyes,
When's the last time?
my head hurts and I feel queasy.
I just want to know, like, how long after eating carrots it takes.
Oh, I haven't really been eating like veggies
He's like, no
for a
veggies for
while.
me.
Not even like orange soda.
No veggies for me. Not even orange soda, man. Yeah, that's not a vegetable way. Don't let
It's
hear this
made
podcast
from
and think,
carrots.
oh
What
yeah,
do
I'll
you mean
just
it's
drink
not a?
orange soda is not. It's not a part of a
Yeah, it is. Have
balanced
you ever
diet.
watched Keenan
And
and Kel?
Hey, he does no, uh,
yes,
It's
I
educational
have.
child content, and that's where you
Yeah,
learned
no,
that orange
no.
soda.
what
I
did they drink?
refuse to
Was
accept
it
anything
Crush?
that you've
I
said.
think it was Orange Crush, right?
I don't know.
No, it was just called orange
Oh,
soda.
it was just a
Yeah,
Publix brand.
The branding,
Yeah.
what I could not put anything
Yeah.
on there, but yeah, orange soda was a thing. So anyway, after I had to explain why orange soda is not part of your diet, shouldn't be part of a balanced diet, regardless of how much carrot it has in it. Yeah, I did that, and then I started. I participated in the latest few Monster Hunter betas. I
Oh,
got a
he
puppy.
told me about this. She gave me the Instagram DL. It's apparently tiny.
Yeah. It's tiny. I
And
might
Eric
grab
got a
it in a
cat.
second. I'll show you guys.
Well,
But
well,
we'll see.
well.
You got it. The cat chose
I mean,
So
it was on the
there's a
counter.
funny story about this, too, that we just figured out, and we don't think this was because of us. We think there are some varying things, but essentially, it learned how to open the doggy door on our door,
Oh
and so
shit.
now we just find the cat inside every now and then. It just like shows up, and it loves sleeping in this green chair. And after it started doing that, because it's our neighbor's cat, they put
Bro.
an air tag on it. And funnily enough, I don't think it was because of us, because we've talked to our neighbors and like they're pretty chill with us, and the cat's been around our house since it was born, essentially.
Yeah.
We actually just think that it's getting to the age where it's starting to be more explory, so it's going off a little bit
beaten
more,
path.
because we've noticed
Mhm.
it missing for like a day, and then it'll come back up and show back up on the porch and want to come inside and lays around, and then go to their place, lays around, but it's starting to branch out a little bit more, I think. And so I think they got an air tag just so they can be like, have
Where's
some
the
peace of
cat?
mind. Where's the cat?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they don't see it for a few days. But
Like,
the
is the
timing
cat
of it
moving?
was impeccable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, did you steal our cat?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Is that what's going on here, guys?
Which we've essentially, it's doing the same thing that it has always
You're
done.
just cohabitating a cat, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Did you buy cat food? God, tell me you didn't buy cat food. Wow. Yeah, no, you have a cat.
Have you met B?
I take back what
Have you met B?
I take back what I said. No, I take back what I said. I don't care who B is. You also have a choice. No, you have a cat.
So
Congratulations,
we
sir.
aren't actually feeding it like full meals, because we don't want to overfeed it, so they have food.
Mhm.
But we have little snacks that we've bought that we can be like, oh, here's a snack.
Okay. Okay.
But that's
Got
about
a
it.
cat. What else?
Well, I guess that leaves Anthony. How are the puppers doing? I guess since we're on this pet train,
Cows.
all of them.
Yeah,
all
how
of
are the
them.
cows?
How are the
Yeah,
cows?
how
How
are
are
the
the puppers?
How are the cows, pups?
Did Eric go in and out
Animals.
for you or just me?
He did. He did.
Okay.
He did.
Oh,
Yeah.
phenomenal.
It was like an internet voice thing.
A jump, a skip, as it were.
Yeah, it looks like for just a second I dropped like 20 frames on the network. So hopefully
Yeah,
that's not indicative.
A couple of times.
It has happened a few times already, but hopefully it balances itself out.
Yeah, hopefully it's just on the video and not on the OBS
Stream.
output, because it looks like from the OBS output we're not dropping network frames yet, but
Seek.
that could be entirely different from video.
Seek.
So we'll see. Ash will let us know if anything starts going downhill, and then I can start opening up different things to check.
Word.
I think the cows are fine. I mean, they're just cowing. Nothing interesting has happened with the cows. They're just, when they're hungry, they're annoying, and when they're not hungry, they quiet.
Okay, so the cows are fine.
But we're dog. We're dog sitting.
Ooh, what kind of
He's
dog?
that?
Great. He's huge.
Oh shit! Is it the
Jeez.
one down the street?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
Griff or Gryffindor.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He's big. He's a big boy.
He's very sweet, very easy. My dog Deku, Yui tries to play with him, and then she runs away after playing a little bit.
Sounds about right.
She gets overexcited.
Overstimulated.
Also, didn't know that her voice could get so high.
Oh.
Because usually she's like deep voice with us, but I guess she's a lady around
that's
him.
so stupid.
Yeah, it's weird. The boy though, Deku, he likes him and doesn't like him at the same time. He'll be nice, but then he won't be.
He just doesn't know what he doesn't know how to feel.
Yeah, he has too many feelings.
Okay.
He gets
Okay.
really jealous really quickly. So
Yeah.
we keep them separate. They each other every day. We try to get them more accustomed to each other, but they're not like off leash together.
I see.
But yeah. Speaking of headaches and eye strain. Yeah, I got a TBI.
What's a TBI?
2.5 weeks ago that caused us to miss our first podcast.
What's a
the other day.
TBI?
Traumatic brain injury.
TBI.
Yeah.
I was hearing V like as in
Yeah,
Victor.
TBI. So that was a lot.
Oh no.
It was straight in the middle of the forehead. So
Oh no.
it messed with all of the nerves for visual stuff.
Oh no.
And so, like one night, I was on the couch and we still had the Christmas tree up. And it's one of those trees that you can't tell. Some people can tell. I'm one that can tell with cheap, but not with this one. It's flickering constantly. The Christmas lights are flickering.
Yeah.
Yeah, when that
And
happens,
so-
it's mind-numbing.
Jarring.
Yeah, so I didn't realize it, and then I don't know if you've ever seen a floater in your eyes, but there's if this is my eyesight, over here where you can't see on this curve is just a bunch of geometrical rainbow shapes that are just not going away. And then I I can't see it. It's like there's part of it that's just gone. Like I just can't see part of it. I distinctly looked at my wife and my dogs just in case my eyes were in case I was going blind, so I could see them one last time because I didn't know what was happening. My wife would take me to the ER, but we ended up calling somebody with experience with TBIs, and he told us that I probably didn't even have a concussion, but that's where all visual stuff is. This is normal. If you throw up, call 911. If you're dizzy, if you can't walk straight, doctor. But I was fine. But the eye thing kept coming back every now and then. It actually happened a night or two ago because again, day was 2 weeks. I'm almost 100%, but it still happened. I think yesterday or the day before. But I was also really dehydrated, so who knows? Maybe that was just exacerbating it.
Jesus Christ, my dude.
Yeah, so I know all about the eye strain thing that you're talking about right now, because I bet your entire nervous system is trying to adjust to something very new.
Very, very much so. Yeah.
And you've got an area of your vision that's in focus, and then an area of your vision that's completely different, and that's just
completely out. Yeah.
your whole brain is trying to reprogram itself to understand what's going on.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know if it's like contrast or like brightness or whatever, but like today specifically, like I was wearing glasses for like the entire day. I didn't have any issues last week. Today, sun came out and my brain was like,
Oh no.
fuck this.
Dude, the best thing to watch when your eyes are messed up right like that for us is anime. Because you can put anime
Oh,
on the
really?
lowest brightness on your like TV and still
Mhm.
see thing. Because it's not real life with the insanely dynamic color
Yes,
scape.
it's.
my
I mean, they design
God.
it with like high contrast in mind to make
In
everything
mind,
more
yeah.
visible.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
So
Oh no.
we caught up on, well, we didn't solo leveling. We semi caught up on solo leveling. We watched all of the dub, and then we're so entranced that we watched one of the sub.
Oh.
But while watching the sub, at one point, of course, I paused to rewind. Actually, at several
Yeah,
points, paused
yeah,
it to
yeah.
rewind
Uh-huh.
because I missed something. But while watching it, I told Ash, I was like, okay, we have to rewatch this in English though. But already tell that I'm missing because the voice actors in English are really good,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm missing the emotion being provided to me by emotional acting of some of the characters.
Yeah.
Because it's like like in the simple stuff,
Mm.
like when the guys that are competing to try to get him on in their guild,
Mm.
and they're like astonished they can feel his through the testing
Yeah.
room. It's not like super intense or anything, but they have an emotion there, and I didn't receive
Whenever
it
the scene came through.
from the
Gotcha,
Japanese
gotcha,
voice
gotcha, gotcha.
actors.
Yep.
It will be
So
interesting to see what they actually do with that scene then, because I know for me, and it might be translation based, like in terms of, well, sorry, not translation based. It might be it might come down to actually this, that the voice actor made in the booth for those individual parts, because you might have very high energy motive part for Wu and all of his pieces, but comes to guild member A or guild member C, Japanese sub, sorry, for the Japanese voice actor, it wasn't something that demanded the level the American voice actors are giving
Yeah,
to
interesting.
those characters.
Yeah, and the what did you remind me of? Wait, so you haven't watched all of it yet? Yeah.
Who, me?
Oh, you have. Okay, okay.
I have. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. The last fight.
there
The
is
last fight went
one
crazy.
phrase for the main character in English that like they can't beat it in Japanese for me, and it's just when he says "arise."
Rise.
The way he says it in
Yeah.
English is just so perfect. I'm like,
Eh.
he's got that raspy aura. It's like it's really good. It's so
Eh.
good.
The only downside to
they're good
solo
actors,
leveling
I
right
know,
man.
I
now
know, I know, I know.
is that every single weekend Crunchyroll crashes for
Crunchyroll is crap, dude.
For the
well,
solo level release.
so it's like solo leveling is bringing down their server every single week, and they keep
Mm.
increasing their server capacity,
And it's like,
and it keeps upping the amount. So they keep being like, "Oh, we had this many users last week. Let's increase it and give it a little bit of a bump above that, so we have some headroom." And then next week they break
they
their
blow it
record
out.
and
Yeah.
go over the next threshold. And so
So-
they've increased the number of like server capacity every week that has been
What's
released,
that,
and then
6
next week
episodes
it
now?
breaks.
So like what, 6 times?
Yeah, it's like
Jesus.
ridiculous, and it'll crash for like the whole weekend because everybody's trying to watch it all weekend. That's how good solo leveling is. It's crazy.
Ugh.
Dude, I just can't get over like we've been watching it on the PS5, okay? Not a uncommon device.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We have the Crunchyroll app on the PS5. You
Mhm.
push the pause button, it goes to the previous episode, maybe even the second previous episode.
Wait, whoa,
Yeah.
You push the
whoa.
select button instead.
Guys, these
It
apps,
goes to the next
these
episode.
TV apps,
They're terrible.
especially
It's a
for the anime streaming pages, bro.
It's a PlayStation 5 app though. It's not even like the LG TV app.
No, you see, you don't understand. You don't understand. It's worse that it is the console app version.
Maybe.
It's worse.
Maybe I need to switch to the TV then. I don't know if I have it.
No, I mean, like, if you have like an Apple TV or something, that's probably the most
have
stable it's going
Roku.
to
Maybe
get.
it's on
And
Roku. We're lucky.
maybe you could try on the Roku app.
That would be
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, but like, they don't
Oh.
exactly R&D those things very well, and the updates
First
are
thing,
few and far between.
Back to the episode. Now you get to fast forward at a maximum, and this is the only fast forward speed ever, 10 seconds at a time, every second.
Bro,
That's crazy.
So
Bro.
you get to hold that button,
that's
and it never speeds up. So it takes like 2 minutes just for you. Like it's
Wait,
bad.
10 seconds for every 1 second?
No, like if I hold down the thing, it goes, yeah, so in 6 seconds, I'll go 1 minute.
Okay,
So
that's actually no, that is pretty
it
bad.
would take
It would take you forever.
like
yeah.
2 minutes to go 10 minutes into
It
the
wouldn't scale
show.
up at all. Like when
It might be
you're holding
slightly
it down,
fast.
It
It doesn't scale. It doesn't speed up. It's just
Okay.
slows it.
Well, that's butthole.
It's so bad. It's so
Speaking of what's not bad,
hopefully.
what are we drinking?
Oh, so
Ironically
Anthony,
enough,
do you
it
want to
started
take
off
the
bad because my shipment of this showed up broken.
Yeah, tell me. Story there.
The UPS guy showed up and he had the box, and my wife was outside at the time, so he was like, "So I'm pretty sure there's alcohol in here, and it's definitely broken because the box is wet. So I'm gonna take it back." We're like, "Okay, thanks."
What?
Sealbox was really good about getting it back to me with all the bottles that I had ordered, so it's good. But
Ordered more than just the blue.
no, I got a Frey Ranch, and I got something called Smoke Wagon, which was surprisingly good.
We've had the smoke wagon before, haven't we?
From Nevada, from Las Vegas. It's
Wagon.
an uncut.
So yeah, we have had that one. I've brought it.
Got
for
2
you.
guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't
Oh,
had
wow.
it on the podcast, but y'all have had it.
It's really
I've
good.
had a smoke wagon before.
Yeah.
I didn't know I'd had it before. That's how great I am at this.
Yeah, but that is the uncut, unfiltered one by Smoke Wagon is my favorite release that they do for sure.
Yeah, so the other day, like 3 or 4, okay, probably like 5 weeks ago, I don't know. I get the emails from Sealbox or actually I think I get texts about new whiskeys, and every now and then I actually click on it. I don't always click on it, but they give like and so they said that this one was unfiltered and uncut, which is very interesting to me, and I think you guys too.
Mm-hmm.
So I opened it up, and if I remember right, I can't remember what the price was, which I guess helps for later on when you ask me what I would pay for it, because I already paid for it, but I don't remember what I paid for it.
Perfect.
I think the price was very reasonable. I was like, I kind of want to get this, so I sent it to these guys. They were like, yeah, let's. It is 58.45% alcohol by volume. Which wait,
That's
no,
39 proof there, buddy.
116.9, so 1169 there. That's kind of nice. I can't read what barrel is it just 3? What does y'all say? 3?
I'm
It looks like
barrel 3.
what is with the squigglies next to it? Is that just nothing?
I think that's BBL,
Yeah, it does look like BBL, doesn't it?
which is let's see.
Yeah,
Let's
3.
see.
I'm barrel number 3.
Okay, so we all got the same barrel of uncut, unfiltered Blue Note, a juke joint whiskey.
Juke joint.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty excited.
Okay.
Apparently, it's a blend.
It's a blend, but it's uncut.
Or is that just a sticker? Sealbox put a sticker on. Hand selected
golden
Sealbox
one?
exclusive blend. Yeah, maybe that's a stupid
Yeah, I
sticker.
think that's just a sticker. I don't know if this is a blend there.
I don't.
buddy.
That would be weird for it to be a blend,
Wow.
right?
BBL has a
Is it
pretty
Swiss Cup?
divisive idea behind what it is. Some people say that it is a Latin technique on a non-Latin word, which is to make it plural. Um, some people say that, yeah, if you have more than one, it's like one BL, like one bottle, or the
I,
second bottle would be two BBL. There are some
Mhm.
people that say that. Some people say that it was a symbol for blue barrels that were delivered by Standard Oil in the early days, but that's probably incorrect
oh,
according to this
dude,
person.
almost like the sticker on top. It's a guitar.
I smell.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. It's
The front. I didn't
the
even realize
stock.
yeah, dude.
this is here.
Yeah, it's called Blue Note because it's the blues.
The
Yeah.
blues.
Oh, bud.
Hopefully, it makes
Are we
us
just?
super sad.
Hopefully, it doesn't make us super sad.
We go today.
No, absolutely not.
You're like, are you trying to wait? Are you trying to do the song?
No,
Were
I'm
you blowing it?
smelling it, my guy. I'm just smelling it. Leave me
Just
alone.
let it,
Just
let
let
it.
It
be. I
has
just
to
want
make
to smell it in
it has
peace.
to make a song though. Like when you blow do the woo. Otherwise,
It's
it's
giving me Free Ranch vibes.
Yeah, apparently the best guess. By the way, this term of using BBL is so old that it predates a lot of the
Ooh,
ideas behind what it could mean. Um, the best guess is that it was supposed to be barrel, and they're using a Latin nomenclature for indicating that it's plural.
okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
if there it were the barrel one, apparently they use BL. And
Huh.
then everyone after that they use BBL.
I liked how they
That's weird. That's
were
cool.
like, don't even read. It's uncut. Just drink it.
Ooh, yeah, it does have a Free Ranch vibe to it.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a funky note to it that the Free Ranch doesn't have, almost like that like a maltiness.
Like a malty grassiness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's got like an earthy vibe to it almost, which is pretty cool. Well, I am ecstatic to be back with
Just smell.
the boys here. And so, with that, cheers to episode 45 of the Taphaven
Cheers.
Podcast.
45 there,
okay. I gotta write
gentlemen.
this one. I used Obsidian for my notes, and I just said 2025 podcast 3. I'm not sure that's right.
Oh, this is episode 45, I believe. And we, I would like to take a moment to talk about our sponsor of the day. And we actually kind of have a double-sided sponsor. We are sponsoring another podcast,
Oh?
funnily enough. Yeah. So we've become an official sponsor or pre-sponsor. This is kind of like backstage information because that podcast hasn't started yet. But we are going to be a sponsor of the Icebox podcast, which is done by an amazing judo practitioner that is good friends of ours. And he is going to be interviewing professional judo players from all around the world. And I will be helping him with that journey. And in turn, he will be shouting out our podcast and we'll be able to he'll list us as a sponsor for all of the episodes.
You too,
Things like
Anthony?
that.
What? Me too. What?
You too with
What was that?
with the Skippy Whippies?
What's a Skippy Whippy? Oh,
The Skippy Whippies
Eric.
with the
What
yeah.
happened?
yes, quite a lot.
Okay, just making sure.
Skippy
you
Whippies. What happened?
Our internets are
You did.
dying.
Your internet
Internets
a
are
little bit
dying?
of Skippy Whippy.
Yes. While he
Yeah.
looks into that, I will say, unfortunately, we will, if we ever have guests on our podcast, I think we'll only be able to get him here for Sober October
Mhm.
because he hates whiskey.
Yep. Yep.
That is fair.
Unfortunate.
That is fair.
Unfortunate.
Now, Ash, did you lose me on the chat, or did you hear everything?
I mean,
I'm
we
curious.
didn't like
I'm
fully
really
lose you.
curious
It's just
whether
like
this
you
is
skipped a few times.
It robots. It like modulates
see.
your voice like
I,
you're getting auto-tuned in a horrible way.
I'm only curious if that's video only or the stream too, because unlike previous times where that has occurred, and I see network dropped frames on the network,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing dropped frames this time. So curious.
I
Stream
can.
is fine. The other guys kind of robot when they say you are. Interesting.
Oh. Oh.
Interesting. I don't know what's going on. I have to imagine that's a video thing then that's going on. Some
Has
kind
to
of
be.
network issue. Um, but yeah, I'm curious whether it's video instead of any one of us.
We push
Because
on
yeah,
there,
the Twitch
friends.
inspector shows I'm not dropping any bitrate or anything like that. Yeah. It sounds like yeah,
It'll
we'll
figure
make
itself
it.
out.
We'll make it through.
It hasn't
But
popped up
yes,
as yet.
the Icebox podcast. Once that first episode's released, we'll talk a little bit more about it, and we'll go forward, and hopefully that'll be a wonderful relationship where we build each other's podcasts up, and that'll be super fun to do.
Mm.
And yeah, so I'm not just kidding around this time. Actual stuff is happening.
The boulder has been moved. The boulder.
The boulder. The boulder.
Speaking of boulder,
Hmm.
this thing's
Man, this is
it's robust.
it's earthy. It's got like this dark, yeah, it really does carry the nose through. It has this kind of funky note going on, but it's woody. It's a little bit almost like a caramel flavor. It like has notes of vanilla, but it almost feels like caramel. It's very thick, it's viscous, and it kind of coats the mouth a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so generally not that bad.
She's
It is a
spicy.
darker flavor palette though. Hmm. It does
Woo!
have an interesting note of spice to it, for sure.
Yes, sir. There it is. Mm. Yeah. This face is not because it's bad. It's more so like process. I think that came harder than the free ranch.
I see.
Uncut
Oh,
does.
I forgot I was muted. What I'm curious about is
Bro.
how the unfiltered process. Like, what does that even mean? Because it looks like a normal bourbon. It's not like there's flakes of, char. What do they
I
mean unfiltered?
so there there is this thing. It's and generally we see it in the term of chill filtered versus non-chill filtered, where they essentially try to keep the temperature at the same kind of around the same area throughout the process. Like it never gets cold because people
Okay.
think that that changes the issue, right? Um, but as far as I understand from like the filtered versus the unfiltered, I know that there is this process that they do. Let me see if I can see it. Um, the flocculation step. And flocculation is where it's the process of small particles coming together to form larger clumps or flocks. And usually this is induced by some process. And
Huh.
so they use that to filter out certain things out of the whiskey. And I'm assuming that by unfiltered, that is what they are referring to. But let's see if
So
we
they're
can
not
find like
so they're not using flocculation to go ahead and remove larger particles from the uh whiskey itself during the distilling process.
Yeah, like a
or during the
fancy name for sexy times. 100%.
sick. Are you on Urban
Um,
Dictionary? What the?
everybody who talks about this, unfortunately, it kind of really boils down to the chill filtering, which they filter their whiskey that comes out of the barrel again and do this. I am assuming that what they are doing is they're not filtering the whiskey. They are pulling it out and putting it directly into the barrel through some other process. Likely, they're doing that through a siphon or something like that, where
Mhm.
all of the stuff that settles at the bottom they don't take, and they just that all that whiskey just doesn't
Come. Yeah, it doesn't
continue,
come with you. Yeah, yeah.
right? If it's too far down in the barrel, they don't send that out. And so what that means is that you're not going to get like particles or anything in this because they're only going to use the siphon to get stuff that is a clear liquid. But it means they aren't putting it through a sieve or something like that to filter any more out. It's not going through mineral filters or anything else like that. I'm assuming that's what
Okay.
it means. That everything that I say seems to support that to some degree. Um, but yeah, looking this up is
I think that
actually,
makes the most
funnily
sense.
enough, pretty difficult because of chill filtering, which is the big one. A lot of people do chill filtering, and they make it really really cold. And I've heard that that changes the flavor a good
Hmm.
bit. Now,
That's
there's
interesting
another
because
turn on
like
here.
if
Oh, go ahead.
oh, I might need to turn the thing off because I think that too much. I switched to listen is through the other thing
Uh-huh.
uh to see if it would make things better.
And it did.
It actually didn't. Um
Fair.
Oh no.
It's like
anyways,
I
now I'm just incredibly loud in my ears and it's very distracting.
Oh no.
You mentioned that the filters usually will filter out like minerals and stuff. And that wild because like in Kentucky they rave about their water
and they want
being
all
what
the
makes
minerals.
you would, but
Yeah.
they don't have all of their whiskeys saying they're unfiltered.
Nope.
So that
So
means
they're so I think the assumption is that they take all of the hard minerals out, meaning the stuff that could actually hurt you comes out. Obviously, I think
I
that filtration
I
process
I
stays. I think that the
I'll
unfiltered means
honestly
that like
probably yeah, I'm not sure. I honestly think that it's more of a marketing thing than anything else because if they're using a siphon, if they're using a filter and they're letting it sit to a point where those processes get clear liquid, because you're not getting floating things in this liquid at
there's
all.
no
Like, and
particles
I
inside
bet,
of whiskey. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And so what you're really talking about is it didn't go through an insane filtration system that filters out microparticles, right? That's
Mm.
really what we're talking about here. The validity of that, I don't know. And what particles that those things filter out, it doesn't filter out everything, depending on which process they use, right? Obviously, if it did, they distilled it or it filtered out everything, we'd be looking at a clear liquid, type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so and I honestly think that this isn't a defined industry standard term. I think that a lot of these companies that are putting unfiltered on their bottle can do so with a pretty big varying degree of accuracy. But there is another term on here which some people may not know of. I don't know if we've talked about it, but we've brought up two whiskeys that have it because they say uncut and unfiltered. Now, the uncut one does have a pretty direct corollary to what process they're doing, although again, um, not entirely regulated. That is the term that they use for them not adding any water to the process. So they're doing the alcohol, they're putting any water in needed for the distillation process, but then after distillation, they don't add any more water to proof it down. Obviously, there are other terms for this, like barrel proof, and things like that. But that's typically what uncut means. And so this is a barrel proof Blue Note unfiltered straight bourbon whiskey.
Rawest of the raw.
Um,
This thing
yeah.
kicks like a goddamn mule.
It's good. Love it.
Like
It
I've
is. It
never
is
had
just a
to-
really nice whiskey.
Never had to breathe the first time and then have to breathe again, knowing that it's going to burn a second time. Like never happened. Woo!
You're like, oh, it burns on the way in, and burns again.
Burns all
You-
out. Oh
If
my
If you really want it to
god,
burn, some spicy cheese, because that stuff, anything spicy, really.
bro! We don't,
Yeah.
bro. What are you doing? Why are you saying spicy cheese,
Dude, mango,
doing?
like mango cheddar.
Mango, yeah, mango.
Oh,
Some
No,
that sounds
amazing.
so
we
good.
don't talk
though.
about
I think I
that.
gave you some. I
We
think I
don't-
gave you some of that.
You definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So,
But yeah, so
I think this is a proof thing. Go ahead, Eric.
It's really high.
well, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
let's hear it, Nat. What do you think about this whiskey?
So like I'm on the ropes, right? Obviously I don't feel well. I'm feeling better just because I feel like I think the glasses were like making it really hard for me to just like see the world as well as focus on just like general stuff. So now that I've taken them off, my body's just like, well, you can't see anything, but like this is fine. And my queasiness is kind of coming down as well. Hopefully, I'm hoping it is like the downward turn and not an upturn. But I will say that as soon as I started drinking this thing, it kicked me in the fucking face. So
It's just like
I
boom,
feel like
kick
I'm
the
on
door
a fucking. I feel like I'm on a farm. Like I feel like they literally just pulled this out of the barrel and like, okay, boy, you're new on the farm, so let's go ahead and get you some of this here
There
and
you
make
go.
sure that you know what we're making on this. We got to know what we're making, okay? You got to go ahead and know. I don't know why I had that
By
accent.
the time I'm
on a
done with you, the
farm,
vampires could
but-
get drunk off of you.
Yeah, pretty much. But they were looking for it.
I
So,
watched Castlevania.
oh,
Sorry.
anyway, hold on. Focus. But yeah, this is really good. I get a lot of connections towards the Frey Ranch in terms of just having that kind of grassy um over the top of it, wild kind of funkiness that lives at the top of it. I was like, it reminds me of the Frey Ranch. I know it like Frey Ranch has a little bit more like of a sweeter punch than this one does, but they're kind of in the same lane. That being said, I'll say it again. This thing is hot. This is not something for the faint of heart. Like you're gonna go ahead and make sure that you're looking for a very strong experience. That being said, this is a 5 for me. This is really good.
A 5.
Like,
Okay.
This is a 5 for me. This is really good. I really like it. I feel like I would like it more if I, but I like it because it gives me like, it teases and says, "Oh, I might be sweet," and then it's like, "Sight, motherfucker!" Now come get this beat or whatever. But yeah, I like how it kind of floats at the very top of the experience, and then like it's a very long way down, but it's an enjoyable trip all the way down. I would pay. I would pay what I paid for it, honestly. Like this is really enjoyable, but I would pay what I paid for. I'd pay.
You don't have to say because I don't
56.
remember.
Okay. Okay.
If
Okay.
you remember.
Cool. Perfect.
And
I
so,
do remember. I'll just wait.
So you
until after.
would daily drink this? You think?
I would not daily drink this. Oh my god. I would probably die.
You'd have to cut it.
Like I would not be. I'd be like,
would kill
"All
me."
all right. You said you wanted to taste whiskey together. I don't want
You-
no.
On
No,
ice,
I
though.
could not do this every day.
I agree. Actually, this
Man,
is
I'd
one
have to
where
try
an
it on
ice cube
ice. I'd have to try it on ice.
might
Yeah.
change the game. This might be a good ice cube one for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely not one where you just like you pour it straight and you're not expecting
Okay,
not to
in
not
the
get
middle
hurt.
of summer, do we do an ice cube episode or like an ice cube month where we're like, guys, it's hot. Okay.
I had an
Forget so hot.
idea for summer on like when it's the hottest day of the podcast. We make ice cubes out of like ice pops out of the whiskey that we want
No,
to try.
I hate that so much.
I
It
don't
would taste
think you
so bad.
can.
It would taste so bad, Eric. And then also the freezer of
Yeah.
alcohol is lower than water.
Yeah, I don't think it would freeze. That's the problem.
So
It
you
wouldn't
can add
freeze. It
things
would
to
just be-
alcohol to make it freeze.
How?
A bourbon slushy.
No, Eric. No, Eric. We're
I
not having
imagine
a
you
bourbon
can.
slushy.
A bourbon
Oh my
slushy.
god. We're not doing it. I don't want an icy
bourbon
I don't want a
slushy.
bourbon icy, dude.
Oh no. Dude, Eric, I discovered
Oh.
that our schools in like elementary and middle school might have been unique in having slushy machines in the cafeteria that you could
That's-
like pay to get a
Oh,
slushy.
very
from.
much so.
Wait, was
That
this not a common thing?
It was
No.
not, dude.
What do you mean? This was this
I
had to
came
have
from
been
the
a common
suburbs, and that was definitely not a thing.
Yeah, that's what we
No.
thought.
No. No.
What?
I don't know. I think a Georgia thing,
Eric.
maybe, or at least near Atlanta thing. 'Cause I swear it was
This
other-
had to be a thing.
I think it was at the elementary school that
Definitely
I
not.
like went to and came back from too. I think
You guys had multiple schools where you went between, and they both had icy machines. Nah, dude.
actually the funny thing is, I
everyone
moved
did.
and came back, so I had a different school. Yeah, but Eric, did both of your elementary schools have the slushy machine?
Yeah. Our high
Yeah.
school had a slushy machine.
Our high school
Yeah.
did.
Glad I didn't have this.
It was
upgrade. I
right.
didn't-
You
glad I
remember how
didn't
we
have
had the
this, but no.
okay, so our school figured out how to con kids out of money, by the way, just to put
Oh,
it
yeah,
out there.
for sure.
So
They stole.
they had two different things. You could either get the normal lunch menu and it'd be like, here's what you get today, and you'd have two options. And
Normal
one
lunch,
person would
yeah.
go this way and one person would go this way. And each one would have a main course and you just get what you got all the way down. That was it. Now, outside of that, they had a special line. And the special line was where you could pay
a la
an
carte.
amount a la carte for whatever you wanted there. And they would have like full pizzas. They would have chicken tenders. And all of them were
Chicken
fire.
tendies.
And so you could go to the crappy lines, or you could pay a premium. And
It was
in that
great.
premium
They had
line,
funnel cakes.
they had funnel cakes. If you remember, the a la carte line was like a little U, where the other lines
A
like
little
had
U.
outlets, like an
Okay.
inlet with two lines, and then they would have two separate outlets that went across. The a la carte was like just a U, and on the like left side or right side of that U, right at wherever you checked out, right next to the checkout, facing the open area, was a slushy machine.
See, I the poor guy, so I only ever went to that line fries because that was the cheapest thing you could get,
Bro, the
and it was like
fries,
$1.
though.
It was like $1 for the fries, yeah.
But they were so good.
And yeah,
Ugh.
you
It
know,
was
I
$2
would always-
for a whole pizza though, and that pizza was dope.
$2 for
I
a
bet.
whole pizza?
I bet.
Like 4 slices
Well, it's
of
like a
pizza.
personal pizza from Papa John's.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Okay,
like four
okay,
slices
okay,
of pizza.
Okay.
Since our last
Okay.
podcast, I got back into making pizza.
Ooh. All right,
Yeah,
now
so
how
y'all
are you
gotta come
how are you
back
making
over.
it? Are you making
Y'all
it
gotta-
out in the thing?
So, okay. I don't think I mentioned this while y'all were here, but I was really sad. We got a Hexclad pizza pan on sale.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you didn't did you have this when we were there?
Did.
It was damaged in shipping,
Oh.
so we had to return it to get another one.
Nightmare situation.
And at the time, we didn't realize Hexclad is the way to make pizza without the pan. if you have the pizza pan, that's great. You can make a really big pizza.
Okay.
If you just have any hex-clad pan,
Okay.
even a deep thing, it changes the game. It makes it so easy. Okay.
What does it do? Why is it different?
How are you browning or toasting the top of
Dude,
pizza?
okay, if your oven doesn't get hot enough, ours goes to 550, and we do it
Oh, you're putting it in the oven.
550 with convection on.
Okay.
We don't even have to broil it. But if you do run into a problem where the top's not getting done as fast as the bottom, use your broiler. But the thing is, those hexclads conduct heat so fast from the ambient temperature in the oven, it just perfectly makes it. You don't have to worry about sticking. You don't need to flour it. You don't need to oil it. You can on there with the sticky dough and spread it out without having to worry that you're going to throw it and drop it or like rip it while you're trying to stretch it. You can just put it down, tap it, and spreading it out. Now I like
tap it like focaccia.
Yeah, I like to throw it and stuff because I'm crazy, but it's incredible and it's easy and it's been great. We've made so many
Vids or
pizzas.
it didn't happen.
Nice.
We could do vids.
Vids or it didn't happen.
Vids
We
or
need.
it didn't happen.
I actually made a stuffed crust last night.
Yeah, we need a cooking, cooking in the mountains show by Bordemin.
Cooking in the mountains.
The funny thing is, I think it was maybe a night or two ago when I was making pizza. I joked about that to Ash because I was like, I'm literally narrating everything I'm doing right now. I don't know why. Like,
You have a channel. What are you doing?
He's already on a podcast. He's already lost to
oh,
us.
no.
It's over.
He's lost.
Oh, but yeah, I like it. It's good. It's
Nice.
oh god, oh my god.
Before I forget though, when we were in elementary school, there were 2 slushy flavors. The biggest hype for going to middle school was there was like 8
Yeah.
or 10
Yeah, they upped
or
their game.
16
Yeah.
No
and
way.
sour
Yeah.
flavor.
Like, and Nat, this was like a giant machine with like the circular things always spinning. And it was like a
No.
7-Eleven.
You had a
Dude,
gas.
it was-
You had a gas station in.
Yeah,
your
but it was a
fucking-
rolling machine. Like it was a
I-
giant metal rolling machine.
It moved.
It did. Sometimes it was
Yeah.
good and everyone would be
hilarious.
depressed.
It moved, man.
That's
it was
But, like,
hilarious.
Dude, I grew up like occasionally asking my parents, "Can I have 50 cents for a slushie?" Maybe it was even a
Like,
I
no,
don't remember.
dude,
bro. 25,
I will
50
say,
cents
I
for
was
an icy, bro.
Pretty expensive, honestly.
here's where I really shined in high school. This was my creme de la creme moment. So in high school, I would oftentimes get an a la carte chicken tender meal.
Yes.
But what I would do is I had like a bunch of different groups that I would go around and talk to almost every lunch. And so I would talk to a bunch of different people like every day. So I would find out over time what each person didn't like from their lunch meals. And so I would go from table to table and I would either make trades and barter for
With
better
chicken
items
tendies.
and more meals with chicken tendies, or I would find the people that didn't like stuff, but other people that liked that thing, and I would get some of the thing that this
just
person
bartered
didn't
his
like and bring
way.
it to the
You're
person who did
disgusting.
like it, and I would
disgusting.
have every lunch, and I remember Anthony some days being like, dude, how much food do you have? And I was like, oh, I just got it. And then he'd be like, where are you getting all this food, you rich fuck? And I'd be like,
Meanwhile, I go home every day and I get off the bus. I'm starving. Like my stomach is like making noises. So I go.
Shared your bound.
I know. I go home and I'm like
no,
heating up
I
a
would
hot
share,
pocket.
I would
or
sometimes
something.
share. Just, I mean,
Okay,
I would eat
okay.
a lot of food. I would
He
eat
was a growing
thousands
boy.
of calories.
You still small.
Yeah. Hey, I would eat a ton of food. So I would have like a giant mound of like various things from like 15 different people in the lunchroom.
Jesus Christ, dude. Was it all just like throwaway food? Like what was the largest population of item? in your like what was it like cheese puffs? Like what gets
Like that
in
I
your
would
packs?
get, or
Yeah.
like in the lunchroom.
What was like yeah. Like no,
Chicken
not
tenders.
even
Chicken
chicken.
tenders were the gold.
Well, I mean, like chicken tenders were obviously the gold,
Yeah.
but like I'm saying, like what did you collect the most of whenever you did your circuit? Because people were like, no, I
Oh,
like this.
easy French fries.
French fries? Okay, that makes sense.
So
Yeah. Sometimes they can be kind of
because not because people didn't eat them, but because people wouldn't finish them. And so I would be able to get tons of extra French fries. And so when I would get to certain tables, I would have a full thing of French fries that were just left over from multiple different people's French fries. And then I would trade French fries because people love the fries for like one or two chicken tenders, not a full one, but like
yeah.
subsets of chicken tenders or like half of one of the pizzas, right? And so I would turn high carbohydrate foods into substantial foods. and, and like that was the trading system, man.
Oh
Like
god.
French fries was the lowest common denominator. And here's the thing, so many people got French fries and they'd eat like a quarter of them. And I'd be
Disgusting.
like, "Hey, are you gonna finish your French fries?" And they'd be like, "Oh no, do you want them?" "Yeah, I'll take them. Thanks. Awesome. Hey, you're cool. I'll see you tomorrow." And then I'd walk
Wow.
over and I'd get more French fries.
Black book walking around writing down
Hey, that was
names. Doesn't look
yeah,
nice.
I was my
Buys
own
a
little
pizza every
Shawshank Redemption,
Wednesday.
you know?
Disgusting. Anthony. Well, no. Who's giving next rating?
Eric, why not?
Yeah, I'll go second. So yeah, this whiskey has a darker flavor palette. It's got this caramel, heavy caramel, funky malty note with little bits of wood and spice, and it's on the hotter side, but it's not like crazy. It's not oppressively hot, but the spice is there and present.
Mm.
And this is not a typical flavored whiskey. It's got darker notes to it than a typical whiskey, I think. A lot of people go into whiskey, they're like vanilla, oak.
Brown.
And this has like, yeah, brown sugar. This is very much like caramel, almost like that dairy-esque dark flavor, type
Mhm.
of, like a milk chocolate type of thing. And then it's got this spicy cinnamon wood flavor that kind of coats the whole experience. It's very viscous. It coats the mouth a lot, which is really nice. Overall, this is just a very solid whiskey. I don't think it does any of those flavors like through the roof, but it hits all the right notes there. If you like
Mm.
darker flavor things, like if you're a caramel over vanilla person, then this is a simple choice for you as your daily drinker, I think. And I would go and say that if you can deal with the hotter whiskeys, if you like the barrel proofs and you like
Mhm.
caramel over vanilla, this might be a great choice for you as your daily drinker. And so I gotta actually I'm joining the bandwagon. I think this is a solid five, and if you like this flavor palette, this could easily be a great daily drinker for you. And I would almost have no issues daily drinking this. So this would be a 5 out of 10. Definitely a daily drinker for me.
Wow.
And I would um I would probably pay, and I think we already kind of noted at it, but this would easily, I would probably buy this for $65.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think, I can't remember exactly what we paid, but that'd be where I cap out on it.
Anthony.
So,
Pretty dang good.
pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. Gotta write
Pretty dang
that
good.
down.
About right.
I don't know if I've told the audience yet, but our rating system is a wonderful cacophony of numbers until you get to Anthony's section, and then it's like just words, and it's great. It's phenomenal.
It's all right. Pretty
He
dang
has
good.
grunts. He's got
Pretty dang
some.
good.
He got some. Nope.
So this
He's got
one,
some-
I wasn't getting it, but maybe it was because I was going slower. It is really hot when you go like 2 sips in a row without a good break.
Yeah.
Because I just got like the really powerful heat for the first time. I was about to be like, this one's really impressive because of how smooth it is for how strong it is, which it is still very impressive for how smooth it is for how strong it is. So, y'all gave it 5 out of 10. Sounds great. I mean, yeah, sure, you could give it a 5 out of 10. But my CMR is a 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I give it a 7
7.
out of 10 because, I'm sorry, but it's 116.9 proof, and it's that smooth. It's not like I feel like I'm gonna die, like I just drank moonshine straight. Like, that's really impressive. So, +1 for that. So we're at 6 now, right? It's line 5. It was like an agreement, but then I started thinking about it. I was like, actually, maybe it's better than a 5.
You said 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10?
I said 7 out of 10. That's my
Nice.
CMR.
Yeah.
And then there's another reason that I bumped it up. I think it was just because it has a lot of different flavors and tastes going on, good smells, constant good experience.
Yeah, the nose on this is like really
Crazy
nice,
good.
I think. I think it outshines a lot of other whiskeys in the 5 out of, for me, for the 5 out of 10 category. This is on the higher end of that for the smells. Honestly, this would sit somewhere closer to a 6 if we were to still be doing the decimal ratings.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Okay.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. If I remember right, the price was pretty good, so that also kind of bumps it up a little bit. I would definitely pay like $6 for this. I don't remember how much I paid for it though.
Yeah, I'll be
But
honest.
I would buy it again.
I forgot how much we paid for it as well.
I
So
did
we
not.
we kind of what was your price you said, Anthony?
I'd pay 50 easily.
50. So let's see, because I'm sure I have a receipt here somewhere.
We gotta have a receipt somewhere.
Pull out the pocketbook.
Pull out the pocketbook. Let's see. Here's the delivery. Here's this. Shipping label was created. It looks like after shipment and let's see. Oh, $50 for this whiskey.
Yeah.
Is what you can pay.
Was it?
Yeah, $50.
God, Matt, what did he say?
Still did get it. No, I didn't hear you.
$50. $50.
It was $50.
Yeah,
It was
$50.
Ding, ding, ding! We have a winner.
Told you.
Yeah, for
It's well worth
$50,
$50.
this is a
It's fantastic.
worthy whiskey of $50. I think this competes with I think it competes very well in that weight class. So
Some of the best value you can get at $50.
yeah. This
For sure.
This Free Ranch and a few others sitting at $50 are heavy hitters
Crazy.
for the bracket. Yeah. That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to create a one day we'll have to do like they do weight classes in fighting. We'll do
Oh,
price
God.
classes and we'll each have to vote of who wins the different fights and see who actually champions the best whiskey of each bracket. We'll do like a $15 to $30 bracket.
Oh, I see what
a
you mean.
$30
Yeah.
to $50 bracket, and we'll get all the whiskeys that we've rated, and we'll start putting them against each other in the bracket.
Sounds like something we should have done in person.
No. We can do this the next time. That could be our next New Year's special event.
Thingy.
Yeah, so we have what, 16 whiskeys pitted each other, drink them all?
Yes.
We're gonna die.
No.
Where's the hospital?
I'm not saying that we drink them all. I'm saying we go a little bit based on memory there. Or we could do rounds over time. Like we could do multiple episodes where we do 2 whiskeys each episode and go against
Like a
each other.
tournament arc.
Yeah, we have a tournament arc in the later part of this year where we're like this whiskey versus this whiskey. Who
Whistling
will
will
win?
make it.
Eric, I
Yeah.
think you forget that I'm a goldfish. I have no memory of any whiskey that we've
That
done.
is why I backpedaled, and we're like, maybe we should do this over multiple episodes.
Maybe we should do this in multiple episodes for sure.
But yes,
Because he's gonna have to taste it again.
Yeah,
Like,
100%. I said that, and then I was like,
You
you
can
know
do
what?
it.
No, never
I
mind.
can't.
Let's backpedal. Let's just drink the whiskeys when they fight. But that would be pretty cool.
Let them fight.
Yo, there's a new game coming out.
Oh yeah, this week, right?
No, it's like something that I'm looking forward to. I don't know if y'all ever got into it with me, but the makers of SnowRunner and MudRunner are making Roadcraft,
Roadcraft.
which is like the next iteration. It definitely looks way better. I don't know if everyone can get the demo or not, but they do have a demo that's been getting played.
Roadcraft.
And it's like the Dark Souls of driving things around. Is what people describe SnowRunner as, because you're just like transporting things. But in Roadcraft, you're not just transporting things in a like basically town like mine where a natural disaster happened. You're actually repairing the roads and like clearing the roads and bringing like truckloads
watching
of
it, yeah.
stuff.
There's a guy live streaming it right now.
Wow.
It's really cool because it's more visceral now. It's not just the transportation element, which the Dark Souls part of the transportation element in SnowRunner, which is still a great game, is that it is so they have a very realistic physics engine, and you're getting stuck in the mud and you're spinning wheels and you have to use like all-wheel drive and low gears and locked differentials and stuff like that in order to get through. And you get ahead of yourself, you gain some speed, you hit a rock and everything falls to shit and you flip over and you just like so much effort and basically just you lost to the boss, right? But yeah, this is cool because now you not just transport stuff, but there's a whole bunch of like construction vehicles for leveling a road or taking down trees or bulldozing something or whatever.
This looks stressful as a motherfucker.
Well, it looks like a group play game because I think it's like 4-player co-op.
These are so whenever and this was true when we played Snowpiercer that one time. This is the type of game where I wish I had just infinite money because I think this game increases in its enjoyment the more realistic of a setup you have for driving.
You're talking about like having like a steering wheel?
Yes. Like
That
having
is
a
a really
setup
cool
for it.
situation, but I mean it's very enjoyable on controller.
Yeah. I could see that too. It's just that's where my head goes. Cause like and I think we've talked about this, maybe not on the podcast, but that's kind of my thing with racing games too, is like the racing games don't really interest me by default. But if I had a full racing sim that had like the movement and the jolting and like the little bit of extra G-force feeling,
dude.
I'd be in.
Speaking of racing simulator full rigs,
Oh yeah.
since the last podcast, we've been planning that out.
Oh, nice.
So, first off, I hooked up my really old racing rig Thrustmaster situation to the Xbox, and it worked really well for what it is. And kind of wish I had that set up when you all could have experienced it. But yeah, it's nice. It's fun. We did some Formula One racing and stuff. It was really funny because at one point, Ash was driving, didn't know what the cue was for. She didn't do a tutorial, so she didn't know when she was supposed to shift. So I was shifting the controller while he was driving with the steering wheel. That was awesome. Like couch co-op experience, basically. But with her mechanical engineering background, she knows where to buy this that people put on sale at a marked up price for building these racing rig sims. And so she's planning it out with a bunch of extruded aluminum, can't remember what it's called, but it's just a very standard thing that you can easily buy, especially in bulk and stuff like that. So we're going to be
Wow.
doing that probably later this year.
That'll be awesome. Yeah,
It's gonna
that's
be
like
stupid.
that's like one thing
Crazy.
where if I had the time
So
and just
not that way. I meant
resource
stupid
no,
crazy.
yeah. Yeah. That's the type of thing where if I had the time and resources to just be able to like click and make that happen, like with a low enough investment, I would love to just sit on that for,
Yeah, so
20 to 30 minutes a day type of deal.
if we end up doing it, to try to document it as much as possible, because like of the flight sticks for playing like Star Citizen and other games, right? That's another thing that people end up buying mounts for to attach to their desk or whatever. There's really good mounts, a big system behind them. They're like $130 each. She'll do it, build 2 of them for 100 to 120.
Damn.
Less than half the price.
Jeez. That's nice.
Crazy.
And I was like, there's going to be a lot of people that would see the parts list, buy and do that themselves. DIY, like, here's what we did, you can do it situation.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that solves so many of the issues when you're able to do it. I think I was telling Anthony off stream. I can't remember if I talked about this on stream, but something that I've been thinking about doing at some point was the FPV, not drones, but UAVs. Like you can create the actual plane for only like $200, $200 to $250.
Yeah, you were
So-
showing me there's a 3D printable plane.
Yeah, you can 3D print it. I could do it with my 3D printer, and it prints out all the parts, and you pay like $30 to be able to print out. They give you all the STL files, and then you can buy the engine and everything else for relatively cheap. And if you know where to get them, you can actually get them on like Alibaba and stuff like that for even cheaper if you don't mind waiting, a month and a half for shipping. And you can get a lot like some of these engines for really, really cheap. Then you get to the problem. You could build out the plane for like $250. The problem comes with the camera and the thing that you're viewing the camera through that you attach the headset. And those things are freaking expensive. Oh my goodness. And then I was like, at this point, I'll just make a flight sim chair. It's going to end up being the same cost. But that's another thing where I'm like, if I just didn't have to worry, if I could just have the goggles and the radio and the camera, and I just had to do everything else, I'd be like, dude, I'm gonna go do that. I sit at the park and do volleyball, and like me and little Josh are sitting there on the side doing stuff with drones all the time. And I'm like, I would love to just take a UAV and he can fly it around, and then I can go over there and fly it around a bit, and you get to it's better than playing a flight sim because you actually have to interact with real world wind and like air conditions. And so it actually feels like flying. It is not a simulator. It is, you're actually flying this thing through the air. You have to take off land. You have to deal with the ground force. You have to, like, it gets real turbulence. Like, it's really, really cool. And for that type of thing, I'm like, man, that is a better solution for a flight sim than, at least for me. Obviously, people who need to learn how to do certain aircrafts, you got to do a flight sim to like learn all the buttons and stuff. But for me, who just wants to like fly around in a flight simulator with a fun little Cessna or something like that doesn't have a lot of controls, it's like, oh yeah, this is so much better, and it's a physical thing that I can go and do at the park that I already go to. It'd be so cool to be able to do that. But doing it for $1,500 to $2,000 instead of $200 is a pretty jarring difference. Where I'm like, if I get a bunch of extra capital, then yeah, maybe. But
it's gonna be a bus.
But it is like really cool, you know.
Mhm.
And so like getting a flight like a car sim like that falls under that same bucket. I'm like, man, I would love to just have it already set up and done, but I don't know if
Dude,
I'm the one who could go and do it, you know?
something really annoying. Well, apparently they're aluminum T-slotted rails. They're super common. That's what
Yeah.
everyone uses to build their stuff. But I bought, so a few years ago, our company gave out like some money and said, buy something fun. Like they're like, we could get Christmas presents for you this year, so just please go and spend this on something fun.
Oh, that's
And
Oh
cute.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so I used it to buy HP Reverb, like G2 or something like that. It was like a $500 VR headset. It's wired. It's like the you could get for doing racing sims or any sims in a video game because it's got great like visuals, just great density. Like you can't see the screen door, stuff like that. Um, and so I got that out when trying to mess with the stuff. And guess what? Windows mixed reality is gone.
Oh no.
They gave up on that.
Yep.
And I think there might be a way to get it working, but it's really, really annoying. And
Yeah.
like it wasn't just detected by Steam or anything. You have to install Windows for Steam, which did nothing. And so I
Yeah.
was like, whatever. And I brought it upstairs and plugged it into the Xbox.
That stuff drives me insane, man. So funnily enough, I can actually show this here. I gotta move this.
But yeah, like I didn't buy it that long ago. It already just not supported.
Yeah,
Like that's so lame.
that is the worst. I had this XP pin, so I have like a drawing tablet monitor
Hmm.
that I paid a lot of money for. It's a great drawing tablet monitor. It's amazing. It released in 2016, 2017. I got it like when it was brand new. And then in 2020, they released Windows 11. Now, for the longest time, I used Windows 10. So I practiced all my drawing and I would do all my stuff on this tablet. And then right after COVID, I just took a break from drawing for a bit. And now we're, of course, doing all the Twitch stuff. I wanted to be able to do emotes and stuff like that. And like, I was like, I should just get it out and draw some stuff, keep my chops up so that I can do it. And I was like, I'll re-download the drivers.
No, dude.
So I tried re-downloading drivers. Nothing's working. I look it up. In 2019, they fired this entire team and nobody has ever touched these drivers again and they're never going to update them. So I went into the depths of the internet and found that they have like open source drivers. Well, the open source driver team, they're like the worst.
Oh.
And they have done like every tablet except for this tablet. And then you can request that they do a tablet, but they're literally just like the so mean to everybody on their Discord and everything. They're
They're
just
so
like,
mean to
we'll get to it
everybody.
when we get to it. And I'm like,
Oh God.
God, y'all are so oppressively mean. Like some people just join the Discord and want to ask a question, guys. Like, why are we like this? And so who knows if they'll ever get to doing this tablet or not. So I actually had to go and like buy a new tablet, and I didn't go to XP Pin because I don't care how cheap and good their stuff is. So I ended up getting like this time I didn't get a screen either. I got one that is much easier to open source the drivers for. So I got like a little Huion, a little macro. It has like a macro pad on the thing. This thing was like not that expensive. I got it on sale for like it was like $15 off. I think it cost me like $50 or something like that.
Oh, nice.
And it worked. It's huge, so it feels like I'm drawing on a piece of paper type of deal. I can change the orientation, all that kind of stuff, and it's just works right out of the box. And then Huion, unlike XP Pen, use the same drivers for all of their things and update their drivers all at the same
Incredible.
time and have the same
Incredible.
firmware. So I'm like, incredible. It's everything works. And so hopefully that'll last longer than the XP Pen monitor did. And if open source ever decides to implement that monitor, then the XP Pen thing will work too. But yeah, that same type of thing when updates come out and they just fire teams instead of actually implementing or fixing their things, it drives me insane.
Unfortunate.
I've been reading Way of Kings,
Oh,
and so
where are
with
you
the
at? Where are you at?
the drawing is why you remind me of it, because she's like drawing everything, and then she's rejected. She just books,
Ooh.
Okay.
and I'm just like, I'm hooked right now. I want to know what happens. I want to
So good. It's so
like,
good. So good.
I want her to like see her drawings and be like, I didn't know it could draw like this. I didn't even possible or something, and like eat shit, 'cause she's been
Shalon is
so
so
mean.
good.
You worry,
Oh
my
my
friend.
gosh.
Don't you worry. There will be many scales in your
Oh,
I'm
future.
so ready. But
I
Nat,
just
oh,
I was just gonna say
Talking
I just
about it.
can't wait until you get to Words of Radiance.
I'll get there.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
the pop off, the first real sand interaction
Yeah.
of the series.
I mean, to be fair, actually in
Yeah.
book one,
Oh yeah,
like,
that's fair. Okay, never mind.
you just wait. You're gonna get to some
Okay.
stuff and
Yeah,
you're like, like,
What do you mean?
yeah, can't wait. I on the Brandon Sanderson train, I just finished the Sunlit Man, which
So the
is
new one,
it's way into your
I
future.
knew.
Right.
You got a lot of books to read before you get there.
Yeah, don't read that right.
well,
Yeah.
in
No.
other news, the
Yeah.
only show that we're watching now is Castlevania. So we're gonna
Nice.
catch up to you. We're gonna catch up to you. Yeah.
Where
don't-
are you?
It's
Tell me.
Where are you?
he is the beautiful man is a night demon guy, and he just sang while being stuck in prison,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
is
Okay.
stuck there still. And what's his name ran like a little baby. I
Richter.
think so. The American British.
Yeah, Richter.
Yeah, he was like, we got to get out of here. I mean, he wasn't wrong. Like, they were all probably gonna die if they stayed there because how strong that guy is, or that vampire. So,
Bro.
have you watched it?
Me? I've seen most of the first season.
Most
But
of the
I-
first season.
Yeah, but I haven't gotten to the second season.
Okay. Okay, you just
Nat, your judgment hurts me across state borders.
That's
You
why I
heard
do
him
it.
first.
That's fair.
That's
Hey,
why
no,
I
no,
do
no.
it.
It's on my list. I'm trying to watch it. We just
I'm the only one out here who's cultured enough to watch everything that needs to be watched.
fair.
Did I ever get to talk to y'all about the Formula One documentary?
Yeah. I
Good.
think you talked about it a little last time.
Because we finally
Yeah,
finished
yeah.
it, and dude, it's not a documentary. It's a real reality show.
Oh, jeez.
Oh
Like
my
it's
God.
it's reality that is not reality showified. You know what I mean?
It's
which makes it
reality
really
show.
good.
It's literally.
No. I mean, it is insanely good.
Okay.
Because of it, so many people across at least America, have been drawn to Formula One.
Interesting.
It's incredible. It's really good.
Ugh.
Definitely worth a watch. You would not regret.
Okay.
It's crazy. It's the neat thing about Formula One that a lot of people don't is that it is a constant science fair project competition. It is
Oh, yeah.
not just the drivers. They are building like a new car every weekend for every race. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of engineers and scientists behind each car. They all build their own based on the rules. They're using the same car, even though to us that looks the same. It's funny when the drivers go and look at the cars, they're like, "Oh man, yours is so different." I'm like, "I mean, it's so different. It looks the same. It's different. Please be a documentary and highlight what's different." Show makes me want an actual documentary. Like,
That's
Oh
funny.
no, it's not actually clarifying
they
content.
things, but in a very good
but not,
way.
like
The show is
okay.
compelling. Never. They do it in an incredibly good way because, like, I think they do like 20 races in a season, right? Well, the show will follow a team for an episode and maybe one other team and tell you the story behind everything, and you'll see glimpses of some races, and then like the one big race where some major stuff happened. And then the next episode will be another team, and you'll go back in time basically to the beginning of the season for that team. And then you'll also go back to this race that they already showed you a bit of where everything, and you're like, whoa, what just happened? Oh, wait, no, I've seen that crash. That was from a different angle. And then you're like, okay, but this is how it affected this team. Because like that one major incident changed everything. Yeah. And so it's a very compelling show. Like, it's just so good. So it's definitely worth a watch.
Okay.
It's so good. That's the reason we set up the racing deal, and that we're going to eventually do the full rig, because Ash is totally in now, and we're going to try to
driver.
we're going to try to go to a Formula One race this year.
Oh,
maybe
nice.
in Miami or Texas.
Just my only recommendation: don't do the Las Vegas one. Any other one?
No,
is okay.
I'm not going to Las Vegas.
Don't do the Las Vegas one. That stuff is.
No.
How they decided to do that is ridiculous.
I heard that they put up blockers so that people couldn't watch for free from like their hotel room or something.
Damn, really?
Oh yeah.
Which is some dirty stuff. Because guess what? Other cities don't do that. There's a lot of city races. They don't do that. That's the point of a city.
Ash, it is so bad. The Vegas one is so bad. It ruins traffic in Vegas for a third of the year.
Ash brought up a great point, though. Formula One is like having literally NASA versus SpaceX versus Vision versus 7 other like SpaceX like level companies compete, because the level of detail that they have to do is literally like long, and the amount of money is also pretty similar. They actually introduced a price cap. Because some like one team could spend like $500 million on their car, while another team was spending like 150. So they started lowering. They started at like 150 and then went to 145, 135. They've been lowering it every year. But guess what? There's a fucking bad guy. We hate this team, and this team, we know they're cheating. They were proven to be cheating at one point. They're definitely cheating, but they don't know how.
Salty.
The drama.
It's
salty.
Bad, dude. It's so obvious that
that's crazy.
What do you mean cheating? Like they're just finding ways to put more expensive parts inside of
yes,
their car?
They're spending than they're supposed to. They're spending more time researching things. Their car is so much better than ever. It's insane. So the top dog was Mercedes forever, right? Okay. When the price cap came in, Mercedes actually, like they expected, got leveled out into the playing field. These guys suddenly became the best.
And as soon as the price cap went in.
As soon as the price cap came in, they suddenly were doing the best. First year, they were proven to spend like $500,000 over budget. The guy tries to sweep it under the rug saying, oh, we just checked the wrong box on a piece of paper. That was, all that money was just for catering and feeding the employees at every race. And
wild.
It sounds fine, right? But actually, no. Every other team couldn't spend that $500,000 on their car that you did spend on your car.
Yeah.
But that's just the one that's just the expense that they were able to find. Like we're pretty sure that they're still doing stuff. Dude, at one point, like the dude is talking to the racing director, who's like an official, like a referee, and he talks to him. They have this on the show. He commands him to do something, and the guy does it. Screws over the guy in first, completely alters the race. That guy actually gets fired like 6 months later due to this whole scandal and stuff like that, because he completely cheated, dude.
That's crazy.
They robbed like the best driver of all time from winning, Lewis Hamilton. By the way,
was there any like downside? Like, did they get like fines or anything?
Banned from the competition.
There were fines and stuff like that, but the problem was the damage was done.
Yeah.
They couldn't take like the championship with who
Yeah.
they stole it from.
And then, of course, they get
And-
so much money off of that any fine is probably just negligible in comparison to the money they get. Yeah,
They
that's
have
crazy.
This team has so much money that they have 2 teams,
That's wild. That's
which
wild.
Garbage.
I feel like shouldn't be legal. Technically, they don't have 2 teams, but they really do. Like they really do. It's messed up, man.
That's
We
crazy.
also watch it.
Yeah, no, it's when you mentioned it last time, it's on my list. So I just get so little time to watch stuff. That's my biggest problem. And right now, literally the only new show we have watched in the past, honestly, this year has pretty much been Solo Leveling.
So good.
And I pretty much get enough time every week that I can watch one episode of Solo Leveling.
Right.
Dude, when the actor came in, for a second, we thought that the actor was going to be like the cover story.
That part's so good in the book too, because and B actually looked at me. My wife looked at me and she was like, "Who is this guy? Am I not remembering him?" I was like,
we were confused too.
"No, that's the joke. that's why this is so funny, because nobody remembers him or knows who he is. You as the audience, the author didn't want you to be like understand what was going on.
Him.
You're supposed to be like, who is this again? Because then when the punchline hits, you're like, oh, he's nobody, literally. Which is so funny. It's so good. So good. But guys, what have y'all, well, I guess with the time we have left, have y'all played anything new? Any new fun games?
Haven't picked up anything, honestly.
New?
I was looking at Warframe. There's a
Warframe's been around for a while now.
YouTuber I play. I know. There's a YouTuber I follow called Mylan Games, and he used to do the lore videos for Destiny, and he's officially quit Destiny. Like he's sworn
Fair.
off it completely.
Honestly, at this point,
Like it's, I understand why. But he picked up Warframe to replace it, and he's guys,
Oh yeah.
it's good. And I was like, yeah, I remember it being like good, but it's just like it's grindy.
I mean,
man. Like it's, and I know that they've probably improved for new players, but I know for me, like because I've already started, I'm no longer considered a new player. So I like the areas that I'm in, it's not that
because
easy to go
you've
in.
played as much as
into
we've
relevancy.
played. Because I remember back in the day, I have like a few, like I think we had a week or two where we just grinded that thing hardcore. I think
Yes,
I got like 150 hours into it.
Crazy, and we all tried to survive as long as possible, and I sprained my wrist.
Yeah, I remember that.
You sprained your
I
wrist.
Yeah,
sprained
he
my
like
wrist playing that game with
sprained
you
his
guys.
wrist off of
Oh
that.
my god.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah,
I have
it's like
251 hours in the game.
Is it still pay to not grind?
to some degree, yes. Yeah.
To some degree,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the thing is that you have to know what you're getting into in that game. They make money by quickening the grind. That is how they do it. And and here's the thing. I think the best way to approach Warframe is you have to enjoy just doing that grind. That is the game. You shouldn't think about trying to skip the grind, because here's the thing: if you just pay for all the quickness in Warframe, it's just like that is the game. Like if you enjoy that, Warframe is phenomenal. They have so many quality of life features. They have so many things that they've done. They have so much content now that it's insane. Like when we played it 10 years ago, it kind of got samey, which is why we kind of fizzled off of it. Like once you get to those high levels and you're doing the grinding at the end, you just run out of content. Nowadays, you're not going to run out of content for 1,000 hours. So like they've done a new expansion almost every year, I think.
I mean, I heard good things about it from streamers like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Warframe
Yep.
is doing great. It is because I've seen it too a bunch of times, and I have a few streamers that I watch that like go back to it every now and then. Every single time I see it, it just gets better at what it was. And that's the only trick
Yep.
is that it is a grind looter shooter action paced, quick action paced game. But if you like playing it, yeah, it looks fire. And I think it's free
No.
for
Did you
90% of the
did you
content.
try to play it, or you're?
I did not. I thought about it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna save all of my gaming energy for
How's
Wilds.
it?
So you
Yeah.
played a lot
Just
of that
gonna,
though?
I'm just,
A lot of wild. You played a lot of
huh?
wilds.
I did whenever it was in beta. It's no longer open now. It's currently they're going through the development
Yeah.
of like launching. So
This weekend.
it comes
Yeah.
out on
Thursday.
Thursday. And I'm going to try and 24-hour stream it
So
if you guys are down.
I only have one caveat for it, which will of course be terrible for Nat. Um, like Saturday-ish evening, I am down to 24-hour it on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
So if we're down, I'm in. I'm also down to stream it on Friday, like all day.
I have
So,
a feeling I'm gonna have to buy this game on multiple consoles so that I can even do this 24-hour thing.
yeah. Friday,
Or
I'm down to play it for
multiple
as long
save
as y'all
files.
want. And then Sunday, if y'all want to start at Sunday midnight and go till midnight, hey, let's go.
Wait, what's the schedule? It cut out, so I missed what you said.
Midnight to midnight. Saturday midnight to Sunday midnight.
Oh my god, that's insanity.
Saturday midnight to Sunday midnight is not
But
possible.
that's not even a launch.
No, it's
yeah,
not. It's
no.
Thursday's the launch.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like Friday I'll probably be like coming back from work and immediately start.
Yeah, I can do a good bit Friday too. I can
It might not even be a 24-hour. It might be just like play until I can't anymore.
yeah, I'm down for that too. I got to wake up early on Saturday, but I'm down to play it on Friday for sure. So
Heard. But yeah,
So
I've
I'm
been
in.
just playing. I've just been fantasizing. That also Hades 2 came out, but I'm probably not gonna pick that game up until like they
Wait.
do the full 1.0.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I thought I heard you say it came out and I was like is 1.0 dropped? Like hey,
No, we still have like probably 2 or 3 more.
that's what I thought too. That's what I thought
before
too.
they give us.
Cuz yeah, I love Hades too, but I on Hades 1, I did this thing where I just played way too much of it before release. And then when it
Uh-huh.
released, I was like, I don't want
I have
to.
nothing to play.
Yeah, I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to do that. So this time, I did like just enough. And I knew it too. I was like, oh, if I play this one more time, I'm beating the final boss. I was like, no, we're stopping now. Because now I want to play Hades 2 so bad. I want to beat that boss. And so I'm like, but now I have to wait. And so when it comes out, I'm going to be
That's
so
smart.
excited to
That's
play it.
smart.
I'm like, I can't wait because I haven't beaten the final boss. I'm like, this is perfect because now I got just to the edge and I know what I want to do and I'm psyched to do it
Mhm.
and I'm holding off. That way, when it releases, I'll like be driven to sit down and just 100% that game.
Yeah.
And that'll be so much more exciting for me and just the way I
For
play
sure.
games. So,
But yeah,
So I played a
What am I
game
looking
that I almost forgot about, which
Oh, what
means
is-
that it didn't leave a lasting impression.
oh no, I guess not
No.
cool then, but
Marvel Rivals.
oh damn.
oh yeah.
Oh damn.
I had fun playing with Eric
It's
and Jason.
Just me.
But-
my
Just you,
and
man.
I.
Just you.
No, Nat, I saved you the trouble. I proved to you that you're not
Oh, okay.
because it didn't leave a lasting impression. I'm not like constantly playing it.
Ooh.
It just
That's
felt like
fair.
every other hero shooter. Like it felt like a good game, but it's just like it's a hero shooter, plain and simple. Like I felt like I was playing Overwatch. That was about it. It didn't feel any different than Overwatch.
I feel like it is. I don't know. I guess just based on my anecdotal experience with it, I guess I disagree. only because I feel like it's so much better than Overwatch. And
But why? I want to know why.
so there are a
Why
few
is it?
things that really um that make it better in my opinion. So I think that the design of the abilities and how they designed every character, all of the characters are a lot more fun to interact with. In Overwatch, there's a lot of heroes that I would play, and they really didn't do that much for me. In Marvel Rivals, every time I pick up a new hero and go through and play it and learn the combo and learn the thing that it's doing, every single one is so satisfying to do. And that's really nice. And I feel like that's one aspect of it. Like the characters design and the ability design of the heroes makes it just more fun on a play by play basis, in my opinion. Two, I feel like the ability design that they're doing is much more healthy for competitive style games. I feel like Overwatch kind of shoehorned these ideas and it really became this less of a strategic game and more of a shooter skill plus playing this particular hero on this exact part of the map every single time and it's stagnated play. Marvel Rivals, because they shoehorn the ideas of each style of hero so hard, like divers are so good at diving and tanks are so good at tanking and supports are so good at X, Y, and Z, depending on what style they're trying to support. It allows for so many different combos and strategies to occur. And the map design encourages that a lot more.
Nat, the coolest part was when I was playing as Wolverine and I'm running along and the Hulk comes up to me and he's like pestering me. And then like this cue comes up on the screen, like accept throw or something like that.
Yeah.
The Hulk literally picks me up, puts me in his hand, and runs
Throws
me
you.
to a spot and throws me. I was like, all right, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
That was
Stuff
fun.
like that. The interaction. So that's another thing that I feel like Overwatch doesn't have team ups at all. And
Yeah,
the team ups create so much diversity in play style.
that part is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And they keep adding more and they keep adding more team ups and the team up interactions are so interesting and cool and it leads to really nice moments with other people in the game. So like obviously online competitive games and things like that have like just crappy people on them. In Overwatch it was every game. In Marvel Rivals, I have so many games where somebody's like, "Hey, can I get a team up?" And then I go to a team up, and me and that guy are best buds for the next 10 minutes, and we wreck face and we go through strategies and we do these things, and it's just fun. It's just fun. And the other thing that's really different that I think you would like, and I don't know if the last time you played Overwatch was recent or not, but the time to kill is so much different. And Marvel Rivals leads to you having to be more strategic in how the team plays and teaming up and working together is more of a thing than it was in Overwatch. Overwatch still had it, but it was more the time to kill was much much lower. And so it felt more like a typical shooter than Marvel Rivals feels more like a first like a third person shooter global agenda. It really does for me. The style of playing feels like global agenda and Overwatch doesn't feel like that at all. It is like entirely antithesis to those ideas. And those things are really nice to me. And one thing that it does is it makes healing feel amazing. And for me, y'all know that's what I love about in games. I love playing healing, managing health bars, and things like that. In Marvel Rivals, I get that feeling that I get for healing in games that I love. In Overwatch, it doesn't feel like that. I don't get those feelings in Overwatch because the time to kill is so quick that I'm
Yeah.
just spamming it and hoping that my heals happen at the right moment. In Marvel Rivals, I get to plan my healing. I get to be tactical. I get to choose, and there's interesting choices to be made. And those levels of intricacies add a lot of depth for me as a support player, for sure. Now, that depth might not exist for the other classes, especially DPS, but tanks have a whole depth to them as well that I found. So I don't know. I can totally understand that style of game might not be for everybody because there is definitely a style there that has a lot of preferences. And it is, I think you're entirely right in that it is a hero shooter and it feels like a hero shooter. And for me, I just think I have been looking for 10 years for a hero shooter to be like Global Agenda again and like turn on those switches. And this is the first one to do it. And it's the best hero shooter that has been released, in my opinion. And I was looking for a hero shooter. So I'm like the opposite audience.
Marvel Rivals is it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this style of game. And I didn't have this style of game until now. And Overwatch, I was hoping would be it. But then they just destroyed the idea. And now Marvel Rivals is doing the same thing. It feels like a hero shooter, but it's doing it. And I'm like excited for that. And so I have loved it. Obviously, that's everybody who's watched my stream kind of knows I've been trying to grind for Grandmaster so I can play with Jason, another good friend of ours, and do Grandmaster grinds with them. And I've gotten all the way up to Plat 2. And so I'm closing in on Diamond, but Plat, from what I've read right now, Plat is just really hard to get out of. And you start to hit the wall just because a lot of the Smurf accounts are in Plat right now.
Are there?
Like if you go to a lot of the streamers and stuff, they're all in Plat. So Plat's really hard to get out of. But I'm learning my characters. I'm getting better every game, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anthony, anything else?
Well, any other games?
Probably not. Maybe. Could have been.
Could've
I mean,
been.
I played almost all the duels.
Yep.
Yeah, I was about to say you were doing the y'all did. I was watching the other day. Y'all did the
did a few
the hangar.
Cities.
Okay. Yeah, I've been playing with Hippo.
Yeah. Did y'all get
Captain America
did y'all get
me the other
hangar?
day? Which one are Beef Wellington or Waffle House?
I think it was the second one. So I don't think it was I think you did Beef Wellington on like Saturday, right, or something.
Beef Wellington, so dumb. It was it on a Saturday. I don't even remember, dude. But Beef Wellington, no one showed up to contest us, so it was super easy and lame. But we still made fun of it, and at one point at the end of it, we were like, we're gonna fight each other in order to like have something interesting and fun happen.
Yeah.
So we had a cap ship, the biggest one in the game right now that a player can like own, is the Polaris. So we had one of those, and we all set our. So if you die, you respawn there. And when the event was over, we got uncontested. We tried to get the server to come fight us. No one would. It was sad.
Poke be like, hey, fuck you. And they're like, dude, chill.
So we thought,
hey,
well, why don't we try to take out our own Polaris, right? So it's everybody versus Polaris. Bring your fighter or whatever. Hippo gets like a really big, insane ship. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if it was the Redeemer or something crazy. It was sick. I've never seen it. So like 6 or 7 of us are on that because there's enough turrets and stuff. And we're not doing well, man. We're fighting the Polaris. We're not doing well. At one point, Hippo and his sister and some others are just like, all right, get us as close as we can. We're going to jump out and we're going to board them. Well, okay, you go at like 10 meters per second, maybe if you're lucky in EVA. The ship's going too fast. They can't board it. Someone's bright idea. Wait, let's all just backspace. If you hold backspace, you die.
I know that.
On where you set your spawn. We all had our spawn set on the pole. We backdoored them. And we all start regenerating into new bodies on the ship.
Wow.
And it was great because one of them was recording, so I actually got to see the other side of it afterwards. the guy's like, Hippo joined our Polaris? What? Why did it say that? You know, they're like confused. Wait, another person joined our Polaris, and then suddenly one of them's like, oh, they
They're in the
set their
walls!
spawns.
They're in
And
the
yeah,
walls!
and
They're
the
in the
thing was,
walls.
oh, like, okay, we're gonna go up to them and we're gonna drug them. Like we had like these, what do you call them? A storage container set up outside of the med bay where the guy had set us up with a whole bunch of armor and weapons and everything you need to get back into the action. Well,
Oh,
none of
jeez.
us grabbed a gun because Hippo's like, let's all just let's drug them. You grab a medical device to heal somebody with, and healing them, you overload them with drugs that would usually help them, and they pass out. So
Incredible.
these guys show up, they leave the turrets, they show up and they start shooting, dying like flies because none of us are armed. And so it was a whole firefight. It was incredible. It was fun. Eventually, we actually took them out, and we kind of succeeded somewhat.
Nice.
We definitely
Kind of, sort of.
we definitely took over the Iris, or sorry, the Polaris. And it was a blast. It was good. It was good stuff. But yeah. Yeah, no, I've been playing with them a lot. Like we very often do Waffle House, which is just you go to the executive hangars and you to steal the executive hangar ultimate loot from whoever is trying to earn it from playing through the PvPvE loops.
Yeah.
And you know, with my I forgot that he's a family-friendly streamer, and
Oh, no.
like he was being funny because we were both on droids, which are like rowboats. They're stealthy, but they're little bikes that you can ride around. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but he's like, "No, you got to go over there." And I was like, and I said, "Shit!" And then he goes, "Language," you know, Captain America's me. Not 10 minutes later, the man says shit himself without bleeping it out. Just saying.
It just sounds like
That's fun.
I'm getting in trouble for nothing.
Right.
This is absolute horse knitting.
guys.
I think you're full of poop.
But yeah, it's been a ton of fun, and this week there's supposed to be the next big patch, which is going to bring a bunch of new ships available in game for like game money, and there's going to be a new event which should ideally have a lot of piracy. It's Jump Town, but in Pyro. So that's going to be new and exciting, and yeah, it's been good.
Nice.
Huh.
Jump Town events are always cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you did you do I don't know if you did Jump Town. It was like it's an event in the past where a drug facility would break and it would just start spitting out drugs, which were worth a ton of money, and everyone would try to get it.
I did it like 2 times ago. I think the last one we tried, I was like gone all weekend or something when it was happening. But the time before that, I did it. But you like the day that I did it, you weren't on. Like you weren't
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So
But yeah, it's really cool. So hopefully it does good. Want them to bring that back because it was absolutely incredible. Because people would be like, "Is Jumptown safe?" And people would say, "Yeah." And you'd go there, and actually there'd be a line of random people taking
Jeez.
turns to grab it in their ship. And so I'd show up and I'd steal someone's ship that wasn't paying enough attention or something like that.
nice.
But then on the other hand, you'd have an org of like 20 to players that just take over the whole thing. They've got tanks, they've got snipers, they've got anti-air. You know, they bring every ship in the freaking game, and it's like, no, this is our place. And
This is our turf. Beat it, scrub.
yeah. I mean, most of them were
Lord,
actually like nice. Like there would be an org that had taken over. I mean, that would happen for sure. But there was like times when an org took over and they would let us come, and it was like every fourth drug we give away.
Mm.
But we get 3 out of the 4, you know? And so, man, dude, I stole all of their drugs. Like all of them. Like they loaded up a big ship worth, and it was millions and millions and millions that we so good. It was so satisfying.
Jeez.
But yeah, it's been
Pretty
fun.
neat.
It's been
Nice.
fun.
Well, I guess on that note, guys, another wonderful episode to add to the books. Thanks everybody for joining for episode 45. Like, subscribe,
Yeah.
do all the things below, and we'll
Oh.
catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Peace.
Roll the outro.
Bye.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dude, man, I gotta